how big the pieces really need to be.
The number you have dialed has...
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Digital Joyride, the show that promotes creation through play no matter what age. And actually, that's what this episode's about, creation through play. So my unlikely fingerboarding story and how I got completely immersed into it is simply due to the fact that it's such a customizable hobby. You can buy something from the store like a tech deck obstacle and you can modify it, you can customize it. You probably will have to because you're gonna find it a little light and small at first. You learn how to use it in conjunction with other pieces or homemade objects that you've done yourself. And really that's where my journey started with fingerboarding in general. As you can see, the plethora of toys that I've made and obstacles that I've made throughout my short time so far with fingerboarding, they range from far from good to, wow, I'm really proud of that. And examples of that would be my 7-step, which I'll get into reasons later why it's not one of my favorite ones and why it didn't turn out good, to my favorite one, which is my picnic bench. And again, we'll talk about why it's my favorite one and all that stuff. And I think what holds people back to doing this themselves is the "is it worth it" question. And I mean, at one point or another, every fingerboarder becomes a toy maker, which is really cool because, again, you're gonna wanna modify, customize, and build your own things. A, you know it's possible because you see other people do it, and B, if you're fingerboarding, it's because your brain is creative and likes to stay active. And so this is the perfect thing for you. Now, ultimately, again, that question is it worth making this stuff? And absolutely it is. I find the more time I take, the more patience I have with the project, the better it comes out. And a big thing leading back to the 7-step and why I wasn't so happy with it is because of the quality of the materials. I built that with some old plywood that was just sitting outside, super weathered, beaten up, already had screws and stuff in it. And so, you know, there's a lot of gaps, it's rickety, it moves around a lot. It doesn't matter how precise you are with your cuts and things like that. If the material is not that great, it's not gonna look that great. If you're having fun with it, whatever, none of that matters. But you know, it's a little sticky and it's rough and stuff like that. So eventually it did impede on my fun when I was able to use it really well, and found myself getting frustrated with its imperfections, holding me back from doing certain things that I wanted to do with my board. And then there's the one that I'm really proud of, my picnic bench. It's made of really good, solid quality wood. I use wood glue on it. There are no fasteners whatsoever. I have little rubber stoppers at the bottom to keep it from moving around when I want a session on it. And really, at the end of the day, what it comes down to is how much patience and how much a perfectionist you are is pretty much going to determine how satisfied you are with the overall product and, you know, your end result. There are my earlier pieces that I have, which I thought were big enough when I made them, and eventually I realized they were definitely not big enough. At that point, I couldn't ollie yet, so everything was like really low, super steep, so I can get a lot of air. And then eventually you learn how your board works, you learn how much space you need to pull off certain moves to do certain styles. If you want to do like low ground street style, you need, you know, a fair bit of area to do, you know, your ledge slides and stuff like that. And then sometimes you create something that completely brings you out of your comfort zone, like the half pipe that I just built. And it's almost like I don't know how to fingerboard anymore. It requires a completely different level of skill and discipline, and I'm learning it, and it's a lot of fun. And overall, it's just allowing me to have way more total control over my board in all situations. So I really encourage people building things that push them out of their comfort zone and that maybe at first they don't really get and they're like, ugh. But if you just stick at it, like fingerboarding in general, you get better at it, and it's more rewarding because you got to work at it. And I think also that's the cool thing about making toys and making obstacles is that the more you do it, the better you get at it. And at first it's not this instant gratification. You make something, you're like, yeah, I like that, but I'm never gonna show anyone. To, I want to show everybody this thing that I built because it's not just this cool fingerboard obstacle, it's just this really cool piece in general. And I think that's something that's really important. It's a skill that you can bring with you forward. So I hope I answered that question for you. Is it worth going through the trouble of building this stuff? Yes, it can go anywhere from an entire day on a project, like the 7-step, because I had no idea what I was using and the materials were really bad, to about 6 hours, like the half pipe, because I had a plan going in. I had watched tutorials on how to do it. You know, there's a whole bunch of videos on how to make all of this stuff. And thanks to everybody who's done all that legwork. I tried actually filming my half pipe and then my phone went out. It's technical issues, stuff like that. So, but I was in that zone where I absolutely needed to finish it because it was just, the flow was there. So I hope I at the very least encourage somebody out there to put together a couple pieces themselves and then from there modify, improve, and overall show off their pieces. If you have some stuff you'd like to show, send them in. I'd love to show them off. And as always, everybody, stay safe, have fun, and keep joyriding, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If so, subscribe, hit the like button, helps me out, lets me know I'm doing a good job. See you on the next one.